It's been almost 3 years now since a Tallahassee family lost their loved one. Law enforcement maintains his death was a suicide, but family and friends say it just doesn't add up. In this week's edition of The Insiders, WTXL ABC 27's Brittany Klein-Peter gives us an inside look into the death of David Salter.
A suspicious death, a case almost 3 years old. A Tallahassee family left with more questions than answers. They want to know what really happened to David Salter.
They didn't really tell us a lot when they come out. They didn't tell us, that he was shot 4 times. They didn't tell us anything.
August 7, 2012. An abandoned silver pickup truck is spotted in the woods off of Highway 20. When deputies with the Leon County Sheriff's Office arrive, they find a trail of splattered blood on the outside of the vehicle, and the body of David Salter slumped over the wheel of the driver's seat. According to the incident report, a resident tells authorities that they heard 2 men yelling the night before near where the truck was found. The witness goes on to say they heard a car drive off and someone yell, "Get out of here."
We didn't know what was going on at that point, but when they, we found out when they got here, and they suspected foul play.
And these are the woods where Salter's body was found, where deputies and investigators searched for hours, looking for clues to piece together that night.
Suspected foul play. They told us we was in shock. We just didn't really know what to think because we had just seen him the Friday before. Looked good, was in good spirits,
A father of 2 and a business owner, Salter worked alongside his brother, running Big Ben House Movers Incorporated, a well-known Tallahassee business in the community for over 30 years. Friends and family describe Salter as hardworking, kind, and easygoing.
He was always, happy guy, happy-go-lucky. Glass was always, half full, not half empty, and would help anybody, give you the shirt off his back. This type of guy was always willing to help somebody.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office rules the case as a suicide and closes it. According to the autopsy report, David died from multiple rifle gunshot wounds, 2 shots to his chest, 1 to his left arm, and a final shot to his abdomen. The weapon used, a 22-inch caliber rifle. According to records, the gun was found on the ground 15 feet away from the truck. The report also describes Salter's clothing as being wet and torn, with his socks soaked and his body covered in insect bites. Records also say that Salter's stomach and arms showed scratch marks. Why would someone who was trying to commit suicide fire a weapon in such an abstract pattern? And why was the weapon found so far away from Salter's body? Questions Salter's family continues to ask. After months of uncertainty, the family decided they needed to do more. That's where Bo Webster comes in, a private investigator hired by the family.
I went out to the crime scene and I looked at everything. I took photographs and determined that it just didn't look good. It looked like a possible murder scene.
Webster says he tried to recreate the crime scene using the exact weapon found at the scene.
After looking at his stature, that he was a somewhat short man, which would mean that he would have shorter arms. And after examining the rifle, the .22 long rifle, that having shorter arms, it would be difficult to be able to pull that trigger. And I sat in my office and I tried to do it, and I have longer arms, and I was just barely able to squeeze the trigger. I guess according to the pathologist, the body was covered with insects and ants, and I just have a hard time believing that if you're inside of a pickup truck or a vehicle within just hours, how can insects just cover your body so quickly?
For Salter's family, the last 3 years have been agonizing, wondering if they'll ever feel a sense of closure.
It was very heartbreaking. It tore this family apart, really. Not apart, but emotionally and physically it did. And not knowing what happened to him. Because nobody shoots themselves 4 times to kill himself.
The detective who led the investigation no longer works in the Leon County Sheriff's Office, but we were able to speak with the department about the case. They say they treat every death investigation as a homicide. All investigations are information and evidence driven, and each case is independent of another. Although the case is closed, the department says this classification only means that all records have been documented to the fullest at this time. The sheriff's office says, unfortunately, they're faced with the question, why did this happen, in many death investigations? And while many times they can't provide an answer, they say that any case can be reopened if new information or witness interviews develop.
I don't think there's any way possible that he committed suicide. You know, it's just a regular guy. He gets no attention, you know. Nobody, you know, but the people do care still, and, you know, we'd like to know what happened to him.
Not ready to accept the findings of the Leon County Sheriff's Office investigation, family and friends of Salter are now offering a reward for anyone who might have more information about the night Salter died. For more details on that, just head on over to our website, WTXL.tv. And if you have any ideas for a possible insider story, contact us at ABC27news@WTXL.tv.